What is number 4? Number 4 is on a particular day. So if you have the skills to bat at 20 for 2, because there is a possibility in any game that can happen, or do you have the skills to bat at 220 for 2 in 42nd over? So number 4, I always believe, has been very crucial. You go back into Indian history, you have all the greats that you can think of. Virender Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid. Tell me one of them who batted at number 4. Or you go back into 70s and 80s. So number 4, as I see it, has always been a place where you have to adjust and the captain decides. Mahendra Singh Dhoni walked in at number 5 in that World Cup final. So beyond number 3, you got to have skills of both kinds if you're going to bat at 4. If you bat at 6 and 7, then you may be a player who doesn't have the skill to probably graft an innings. You probably 90 times out of 100 you come in at one stage.
You're a bit of a dasher, yeah.
Coming back to Amavati Rayudu, I think he's a fabulous player. Those numbers show that. And if you look at that numbers, the question that should be asked is, why hasn't he been playing for India? A guy who's batting at later in the order, averages almost 50, as I think if I got it right.
Yeah.
Almost 50. He's got a couple of hundreds. So you see another thing in him that he can actually take the innings all the way till the end.
Yeah.
So those numbers, the question that I would ask the Indian cricket is, who's running this Indian cricket? Because if you have a guy like this who hasn't played, like Zahir just mentioned, he hasn't played for India for a very long time. With those numbers, why isn't he playing?
Zahir, interestingly, most of the matches that he played, the bulk of these 40 matches that he played, most of them he actually played just before the 2015 World Cup. And then for some reason he wasn't a part of that.
Absolutely, I think that's one thing which stands out. When you look at Rayudu's career, it's been a roller coaster in a way, because he's right now also claimed his position in the side after the brilliant IPL performance. So he's not, the numbers have always been there. He's added that kind of a flair to his game which was not there earlier, and the age was also not backing him. So around the 2015 World Cup time, World Cup always is that phase in anyone's career where after World Cup is finished, selectors are looking ahead. They are thinking about the next World Cup, which is 4 years down the line. So that's something, at times as a player goes against you, because you know that you can be there ready for the next World Cup as well. But when the team management is planning, or the team administrators are planning, they are thinking about it differently. And that something was the case with Rayudu as well. I think, around 2015, the age was not backing him that much as the numbers. The numbers were always there, but they were thinking, okay, how long Rayudu can be there with the Indian team, and the youngster always wins these kind of battles. So you've seen different youngsters been tried at that number, be it Kedar Jadhav, Manish Pandey, Dinesh Karthik made his comeback again in that kind of a situation. Now they're just thinking about the World Cup. So age has gone out of the window. Now they're saying, okay, who can do the job for us at this position for World Cup? So the time has become shortened, so the age has gone out of the window, and that's why Rayudu is back in the team.
I love Ajay. Ajay has the most contrarian arguments. So I'm going to throw you something, because you believe sometimes that numbers don't tell the entire story. I'm going to put up a very nice stat for you. Take a look at it, because it tells some sort of a story. Now, this is what, India, we know how good our opening is. Number 1, number 2, number 3, we have the best batting average in all those positions. Look at number 4, it's 10. Now, is that a meaningful statistic firstly, and what do you make of it? Of course, 5 is also not exactly the greatest performance.
I don't know the numbers as well as you, and I think numbers, what I feel about numbers is numbers are facts. There's nothing you can, debate about it, because that is what has happened in the past.
True.
That's the truth. So looking at those numbers, if you have a team that gets number 1, number 2, number 3 averaging at that number, if you add those numbers, almost it comes to about 200. So the number 4, when he comes into bat, he's coming into bat at 200. And, the time left is very little. So the numbers will look like that. The number 1 guy on that list, we'll find out. I mean, there's enough time to talk through this series, because West Indies is not going to be very exciting. Is that the number 1 in that stat will be a team whose openers and number 3 probably don't average that much. See, at the end of the day, there's only 50 overs to bat. There are only 300 balls in this one-day game to bat. Who's going to bat those number of balls? The guys who bat at the top have the best chance of scoring as many runs as possible. It's not easy out there at the top, but they have those numbers to show that. And if you have a team that has outstanding openers and number 3, invariably the guy at 4 doesn't get to come in and have that much time. So his numbers will never match with number 1 and 2. At the end of the day, it's a team that's going to play 300 overs. I look at those numbers. 300 balls India is going to play in this game and in every one-day game that we play. So those numbers matter more to me.